Welcome back to the channel. We have a critical drinker video reviewing the One Piece Season 2 live-action series.
Hello, welcome back to the channel. Thanks guys for clicking on the video. Yes, Critical Drinker. Critical Drinker is a lot of fun to watch. I've been watching him for quite a while now. But yeah, this is for One Piece Season 2. I've watched Season 1. I have not checked out Season 2 for it yet. I was initially under the impression that it's going to be shit. But according to him, it looks like at least that's what he's, what's the name? The title of his video is Netflix Pulled Off a Miracle. So yeah, let's see what is actually going on with this one.
Thanks to Surfshark for sponsoring this video. You know, when it comes to adapting popular animes into live action for Western audiences, it seems like there's two paths you can take. Path number one is to try to make it grounded and realistic, taking the wilder story elements, the outlandish, larger-than-life characters, and the big melodramatic emotional payoffs, and forcing it into the safe, comfortable, predictable Hollywood molds. Path number two, on the other hand, is to just go all in, embracing every ounce of over-the-top insanity, reveling in the ridiculous character designs, wildly vibrant personalities, and physics-defying battle scenes, and celebrating all the things that made the source material so popular in the first place. Path number one leads to dreary, disappointing sludge like Cowboy.
I have still not watched this. I refuse to. I will never fucking watch this shit.
Bebop.
I watched the original anime. That's
hated
good.
By fans of the original and largely ignored by normies. Not helped by the decision to hire an actress who was wildly unsuited to the role she was playing and decided to lash out at the entire fan base for pointing out.
The menu of chat looks visible, but you can try looking at it after the video. The menu of the chat looks
that very obvious
visible.
fact.
Okay.
You are made of stupid.
Part 2, on the other hand, leads to the glorious, colourful, hyper-energetic insanity of One Piece that came out of nowhere back in 2023, grabbed the world by the balls and said, "This is how it's fucking done." And it was, neatly proving that anime can be adapted for live action and it can appeal to a wide audience as long as you respect the source material and keep the important elements that made it unique in the first place. The only question now was, would Season 2 be able to keep the momentum going after a 3-year absence? Jesus, has it really been 3 years already? Or would Netflix do what Netflix does best and fuck up a good thing once they'd hooked people?
This is what I assumed happened because it's Netflix.
By trying to appeal to a modern audience. Well, and I almost can't believe I'm saying this, but somehow they actually did One Piece justice. Again.
No way.
Damn.
Yes way.
Neatly continuing the adventures of Luffy and the Straw Hat Pirates in their quest to navigate the Grand Line and recover the One Piece, adding a rogues gallery of new enemies and factions with their own.
Another thing, also, I've only watched up to episode 60 of the original anime of One Piece. So, yeah, I don't have a Netflix to watch anything else. You think I have Netflix? I don't have Netflix.
Goals and objectives, expanding the lore and the world building, working in some surprisingly poignant moments of drama and pathos, and delivering some of the most unapologetically, beautifully over-the-top set pieces and confrontations I've ever seen in live action. Not to mention
I am a test. Welcome, test. How's it going?
Pretty impressive eye candy.
Oh, damn.
Well done, Netflix. I salute you.
Okay,
now, before I launch into my full plot summary, a quick...
I still think she did a perfect role for the character. All of them did a really fucking good role for their characters.
But hey, if you'd rather continue on without changing course, skip to this time.
Let's go to 3 minutes 55. Here we go.
Anyway, on with our adventure. So the season picks up with Luffy, Nami, and the rest of the gang aboard the Going Merry, who are on a quest to recover the One Piece, a legendary treasure left behind by Gold Roger, the most famous pirate of the age, who was eventually captured and executed. To get to it, they have to navigate the Grand Line, a notoriously dangerous stretch of ocean that encircles the world, where conventional navigation is impossible, monsters roam the high seas, and dangers await around every...
Like, I've heard that they're remastering, or not remastering, but doing a soft reboot of One Piece, just so that they can make it more consistent and also leave out a bunch of the the extra fillers. I'm going, well, I thought it was funny that you said test twice previously. I was like, yes, I'm here. You called me.
Corner. Now, this is all difficult enough, but they're also being pursued by two different factions who either want them dead or imprisoned. First up, there's the Marines, led by Luffy's estranged grandfather, who represents the closest thing to law and order in the world of One Piece. And on the other hand, there's Baroque Works, a kind of organized crime network with an army of flamboyant assassins.
Okay, that's wild. You can just fucking create hands coming out of everything.
And while all this is going on, the crew also happens to pick up a young woman who turns out to be the exiled princess of Alabasta, the very kingdom that Baroque Works are out to destabilize so they can get their hands on a world.
Like, this is what I liked about this first season. It is so over the top and like takes itself serious, but also not at the same time. And they don't try and make shit look real. I love the drinker, he's great. The Netflix anime is surprisingly amazing. I know what season 1 it was, I haven't watched season 2 yet.
Ending super weapon.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
So, needless to say, there's kind of a lot going on in this season, and
who the fuck was that next to her?
Hours to recap everything that happens over the 8 episodes. Plus, I don't really want to spoil it for you anyway, so I'll keep this summary pretty vague and just say that the season accomplishes several things and does them very effectively.
I think I ended in this arc in the original anime when I tried to watch it.
It moves the main narrative forward while leaving room for plenty of side quests and individual adventures. It expands on the world and the various factions and groups that are all working towards their own goals, deepens our understanding of the main
That's One Piece. The live action seems very faithful.
Characters and their relationships, and introduces some...
But from what I remember, it's because they actually had the original fucking author of One Piece working with them.
New faces that add a different dimension to the group dynamic. It keeps the playful, optimistic, adventurous tone of the first season, but it's also not afraid to take its characters and stories to some pretty dark places at times. It gives every member of the gang a chance to shine and develop, and now that their backstories have been laid out in season 1, the writers are free to focus on forward momentum as they each strive to achieve their goals, realise their dreams, or overcome their weaknesses and fears. The cast all play...
That's all good, don't worry about it. I need to pause throughout the video anyway, so I don't really mind. Yeah, you're good, Test, you're good.
Well off each other, and it feels like both the writers and the actors have settled into their characters now. Each has their own skills and areas of expertise. They're not afraid to compete and bicker with each other at times, but it never feels like any particular character is being elevated or pushed at the expense of others. And here's the thing, they are so fucking likable and unique, it's almost ridiculous that Netflix were able to accomplish this. Luffy's the eternally cheerful, optimistic leader who dreams of adventure and glory and is never afraid to lead his crew into danger to get to it. Nami is the dedicated navigator with a mercenary streak that hides a more compassionate core. Usopp is the cowardly sniper who aspires to live up to the legend he's created for himself. Zoro is the cool and deadly sword fighter, always pushing himself to equal his former mentor. And Sanji is the smooth-talking ladies man who dreams of being the greatest chef in the world and is always competing against Zoro. They are a bunch of absolute misfits, but they really do feel like a gang of friends.
It's the best kind of fucking group.
Going off on an adventure together because they want to do it. For once, it's not a bunch...
Each character is unique in their own way.
Bunch of unlikable assholes who hate each other, forced to work together by circumstances, because it's just so terribly original to watch people arguing and yelling at each other while trying to accomplish a task. Isn't it, James? They actually seem to give a shit about each other. They party and hang out together even when they're on shore leave, and they show genuine concern when one of them gets into trouble. I don't know, man. It's just nice to watch a show where the...
I loved your collab with Tabletop Simulator and Superfight. Can you do that again? I had so much fun. Any ideas for the next game? So I put out a post on X for what the next tabletop stream is going to be. Currently, it looks like we're doing King of Tokyo. But I do want to do Superfight again at some point. Superfight is a lot of fun.
Team dynamic is something more than just who can fire off the most witty put down. And that's not to overlook the antagonists either, who usually have several layers of development and motivation behind their outlet.
But currently this week, I'm planning on a collab with Nasky, Psychro, and Griffin Knight for Gunfire Reborn. Oh no, I put the post out on YouTube, not on X.
Landish styling and are almost always pursuing their own objectives no matter who they happen to be working for. Even amongst the villains, there's these interesting little explorations of loyalty, honor, and friendship. And
Yeah.
damn, man, for a show about talking snails and wigs.
I've played King of Tokyo IRL. I loved King of Tokyo is a lot of fun.
With hidden machine guns inside, there is some pretty sophisticated character development going on. That being said, I think Smoker might actually be my favourite just because he looks so
Not a fan of One Piece, not for me too. Much filler, live action race changes quite a few people. Only arc I liked was Impel Down, and I never even got that far. I got up to episode 60 with One Piece. I was never a big One Piece fan. I couldn't get past the original pacing and the art style. My main was always Naruto and Bleach. Bleach is my number one of the big three.
fucking cool. Any man that can smoke 2 cigars at the same time is alright with me. Then
Badass.
there's the tone. Like I said before, this is a direct adaptation of an anime, which itself was adapted from a manga that's been going for 30 years now and spans over 1,000 chapters in more than 100 volumes.
Fuck.
Jesus Christ, whatever Ichiro Odo's been using, I want some. Anyway, the point is that if you go into One Piece expecting its world and characters to adhere to the laws of geography, physics, engineering, technological development, or even normal human...
Also, I found One Piece. Netflix was good. Cowboy Bebop. Cowboy Bebop as an anime was fucking fantastic. As a live action adaptation, it was absolutely fucking shit. But my number one anime of all time will always be Gintama.
behavior, you are going to be left very fucking confused. You will see and hear things in One Piece that you might not have known you
I love One Piece, but it's too long for me to rewatch. I can imagine.
wanted, but it turns out you absolutely needed. This is a show that you absolutely have to take on its own terms and accept the hyperactive, hyper-stylized reality that it presents you. That's not a criticism, it's just a fair warning that the writing philosophy behind it is very different from almost anything else that gets made over here. And you know
like I
what?
said,
That is a fucking
I will not watch the live action Cowboy Bebop.
good thing. It's good to try new stuff once in a while, experience different cultures and new ways of telling stories, and if you're able to embrace the glorious madness of One Piece, I think you'll have an absolute blast with it. I know I did. Thanks to Surfshark for
I wonder
sponsoring
why.
today's video. Don't forget to go to
Fuck. No, that was fucking good. Yeah, no, I need to actually watch it. But I'm so far behind on my anime that I also need to catch up with everything anime related. Change me of actual favorites. No, that makes sense. Everyone's gonna have different favorites, obviously. Gintama is my favorite for very specific reasons. But other than Gintama, Bleach I've always enjoyed, Frieren, Full Metal Alchemist, like all the big ones. I didn't really care. Like Naruto was good, but I never really put it at my top. But yeah, that's it for the One Piece Season 2 Critical Drinker reaction. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for clicking on it. Share, like, and subscribe, and do all the other fun stuff. Goodbye to the people watching on YouTube.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, like, sub, and comment down below.